I think Instagram is very structured. Again, I don't know, and I know that I know lots of people love TikTok, and it's kind of beating out Instagram now, I've heard. And Clubhouse is also another place for people to really give kind of more content. I think, like I said, I can only speak from Instagram because that's where I've seen a lot of growth. Like I've really seen, if you put in time into one outlet, if you're going to focus on Instagram or focus on TikTok, you will grow if you stay consistent and focused. So Instagram, I really enjoy because there are so many therapists that I follow who inspire me. And I think you have to be very intentional about who you're following because, you know, there are so many distractions out there, and Instagram can be a great resource, and it can also be a place where you're comparing yourself and you're getting in your head. So if you are going to be on there, be intentional about who you're following as a therapist.
I think that's such a great, because a lot of times we forget we're human too, and we can fall prey to that comparison that many of our clients do, and just doing this, or why aren't I doing this too? So really, I think that's an important thing, to make sure you're very intentional about who you're following and what content you're choosing to take into your life. And in thinking about that, I'm wondering, what types of posts do you feel help more people versus what gets more interaction?
So I'll speak from myself. When I'm on Instagram, when I hear someone share their story, something about them, that they tell a story in general. I think we as humans relate to stories, humans, like the human experience. And so it's kind of counterintuitive as a therapist. I know in our training, it's like, it's not about you. Don't share personal information, right? These are all things that I was super uncomfortable with in the beginning. I was like, I don't ever talk about myself with a patient. It's not about me. But at the same time, what I realized, I didn't realize in the beginning, but once I started my account, all these early career therapists were seeking me out to like learn from me. Like they were just going to grad school, or they were saying, should I go to grad school? And I started realizing, well, maybe if I share a little bit about my path, or my process, or my experiences with anxiety, maybe if I talk about that and show that like I'm a normal human being who happens to be a therapist, who doesn't have all my shit together all the time, sometimes that actually speaks to people the most, like not being always like perfect. But at the same time, in school, we learn it's not about us, be a blank, it's about our patient. So I think for me, what speaks to me more is when people share a little bit, professionally, have some boundaries too. You don't want to overshare, but I think we want to understand, like, who are you behind the account? Like, who is the person that we're talking to?
So with that, I imagine you get lots of comments on the regular. So how do you like manage comments? And like, of course, you're going to get trolls and, people who are just hating on the fact that you're doing really well. So how do you like and emotionally separate yourself from what might be coming out on your Instagram?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had so much negativity. I don't know if it's because I focus on humanizing. I really do. That's like my message that I'm trying to impart is like, I'm a human. I'm not perfect. We all have struggles. Like I really do that a lot. So I haven't had so many haters, but I do see that on other people's accounts when they do really open up and be vulnerable. And it's very hard. I think that would be really, really distracting, and it could be really, it could make me not want to share. So I think I do get a lot of messages that sometimes are inappropriate, that are not meant for, not about what I should be talking about. So, block people, or I know a lot of therapists who have a rule, they do not answer DMs. Part of my account, because my Instagram handle is Ask Dr. Julie, I have people asking me questions a lot, and I encourage it because I want to be, my handle, I wanted to be really approachable. And that's something we could talk about too, how to pick a name for you that would make people want to reach out to you. But the downside of that is that people might reach out to me about things that I'm not giving advice, and this is not an account to give you. I have to be very clear that I'm not giving therapy over Instagram. And so I do an open question and answer sometimes where I get some inappropriate stuff. So I just have strict boundaries with that.